Do you ever wonder why most people believe they see others as they truly are, but rarely ever do? Most of the time, what you think you see is filtered through your own programs, through fear, your feelings of unworthiness, or loyalty, or control patterns. You don't see them, you see your own reflection in them. And then it is interesting to ask yourself, why do I want to see this person this way? What does it bring me in my life to see someone in a certain way? Because every person deep down is pure coherence, even if you never experience that. And this is why mirrors feel so frustrating. The behavior, the words, the tension. It is not them punishing you. It is your own inner pattern lighting up. You cannot truly see someone until your own distortions relax. Can you imagine seeing someone as they truly are? Just sit down quietly if you can and close your eyes. Imagine that you have no programs and you are just pure coherence walking the earth. What does that feel like? How do others react to you? How do you react to others? If you have a hard time imagining this, I have a guided meditation on this so you can really get into it. The link is under this video in the caption. When your inner distortions dissolve, the mirror becomes transparent. You still see a reflection, but it's clear. No projections, no judgments, no story. You can perceive the universe of another person, their fears, their coherence, their patterns, without confusing it with yourself. This is the first step to awakened perception. Join the circle in January to explore seeing mirrors clearly. Link in the bio. People ask me this a lot. If I have no distortions left, can other people still show fear around me or be angry with me? Yes and no, but I will go into that later. But back to the yes. Because your coherence does not erase their blueprint. It only dissolves yours. They can still get triggered, they can still project, they can still misunderstand you, and they can still act from fear. But here's the shift. Their fear no longer hooks you. It doesn't land in your system. It doesn't activate anything. You're not pulled into the collapse, the fight, the defense, or the old family roles. Their pattern becomes a one-sided discharge, something they are expressing, not something you're participating in. In your coherence, two things happen. Some people calm down because the loop can't continue, others intensify because the projection can't attach to you, and both are normal. Both are part of the mirror becoming transparent. Your distortions stop being mirrored. Theirs stay theirs, and you finally see them as they are, without losing yourself. People sometimes ask, if someone is truly awakened, like Jesus or Buddha, how could they still be killed? Jesus was crucified and Buddha was poisoned. And here's the truth. They can't. Because awakening or inner coherence dissolves every external distortion. Fear, collapse, defense, projection, survival reaction. And when those dissolve, the experience of danger dissolves with them. But awakening does not overwrite the blueprint of others. Others can still act from fear, distortion, and violence. Two universes coexist in the same scene. In the coherent universe, there is no threat, There is no victimhood. There is no attack. There is only witnessing. In the collective universe, fear shapes perception. Distortion shapes behavior. And violence can be acted out. But here is the crucial point. Only the coherent being can consciously decide whether that violence touches their timeline. A coherent being cannot be overpowered. Not emotionally, not psychologically, not existentially. The only way an awakened coherent being dies is by consciously choosing that moment as their exit, because it serves their highest arc of evolution. That is why Jesus wasn't killed. He entered this timeline consciously. It was not done to him. He walked into this as a deliberate pivot for the collective coherence, in absolute inner safety. The body may transition, but only by choice. If, for instance, Jesus did not experience this crucifixion as violence, why would he choose this timeline at all? Because coherence doesn't avoid intensity. It chooses, in this case, the timeline with the highest evolutionary impact. A fully awakened being does not operate from fear or survival. They operate, in this case, from source-level strategy, from what accelerates the collective the fastest. That's what pre-chosen means. Not destiny, not martyrdom, but a conscious entry into the timeline that will wake the most people up. From his perspective, there was no danger, there was no attack, no fear, only a field of humans acting from distortion, and an opportunity to imprint a new frequency into the collective blueprints. Coherence can meet distortion and not be touched by it, but it can still engage with it out of choice. The timeline that humanity remembers as the crucifixion was simply the version that created the strongest long-term shift. A signal that could survive thousands of years and activate right now, in this era. In coherence, the question is not, why did this happen to me? But, what ripple does this create? For me, for the field, or for humanity, if I choose to engage at all.